want it to roll and be down there. Hey, if everybody would, come on in. We're going to get started. The team, come on down and sit with us. Holly may want to sit. Oh, y'all wore green. And I thought about it, see. Let's see, who are we missing? Where's Zoe? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So, yeah, that's right. Because Annabelle. Yeah, some extra chairs. Where's Annabelle? Come. Oh, she's going to do the slideshow, actually. Annabelle's part of the team. She fought through right to the bitter end, but couldn't make it on that plane. So, um, real quick, everybody kind of wants to know sometimes what this is all about. And so there's a few people in here, Jason McCoy, no, Zeb, myself, and who else is on that? Yeah, well, yeah, Jay and Sharon, but this was kind of happened in there's a lot of moments that are funny and aha, but really and truly, this whole trip started with Jay and Sharon Weatherly and their kids, and so there was a moment in 2018, and we kind of used this quote a lot, and so it's kind of become the theme of the trip, in my opinion, because it's, hey, what are we doing, guys? And this is an infamous quote of Jay Weatherly when we were in a predicament, but we pulled through it. And so I hope this presentation and the words that these people here tell you kind of shows what we're doing, guys. And so, Jay, I hope you're watching this, because this is dedicated to you. I just can't tell you what it means to me going over there and working, and how much I thank each and every member of this church and our community that works so hard in different fundraisers, the yard sale, the people that come and buy, that donate the money and support whatever we do so we can do this. So I really appreciate it. That's about all I'm going to say about it, and I'm going to turn it over to the people who really did the stuff over there, and that's these ladies right here and their hard work and what they did, and then Bob the builder here who can make it happen, and his trusty helper who never stopped. Now, he talks the talk, but he walks the walk. He was in the trenches working and preaching. And then we got our famous translator down here that is just like a god to the kids over there. So I'm going to turn it over to the ladies first, and then we'll get to the guys.
So this was my second trip. My first trip was 2018, and to see the differences that have taken place. When we went in 2018, we we were praying about things that were taking place when we went back this trip, and that was really amazing to see. You never really know what to expect when you get there as far as working with the women. You don't know what type of women you're going to be working with. You don't know where they're from. You don't necessarily know their stories or what's going to come out. And so it's hard to prepare for that, but we've all shared different stories of previous experiences. And so I was trying to prepare Zoe. She's not here because she had to wear some teeth out, but I was trying to prepare Zoe for it, and I think it was pretty amazing for her to see, get to meet the women who we've talked about all these years, and to put it, these are real people, these are real experience that they've had, and so that was pretty wonderful and hard for her, but it was a beautiful thing to kind of see unfold. The women, Zoe was telling her story. And in light of things, maybe not some of the harder things that many people have experienced, but her story is one of the ones that started getting the women to talk about things. They were able to encourage her instead of us being the ones trying to encourage them. And that was a really beautiful moment to see those women sitting and encouraging her about school and continue your studies and don't worry about what others think about you. And it was really fun to see that moment when we were supposed to be the ones giving, our testimony or whatever, and to see them pouring into her was beautiful. The timing of this trip could not have been worse for our family, I would say. And I had to talk to the Lord about that because I was kind of getting angry. Zoe's biggest game of her entire life happened the day that we left, and so she chose to go to Greece instead of going and playing the biggest basketball game of her career and school career. So we were struggling with that, but it was really beautiful for her to say, you know what, I'm supposed to go to Greece. And then we actually got to see kind of the reason why she went. We lost our family pet of 10 years, and thankfully Laura and Adelaide came to the rescue that day. But Lily Kate and my parents had to deal with kind of those harder things. We were across the world, couldn't do anything. Lily Kate had to fill out paperwork and step up in a way that she does not normally do. We lost an uncle during that time, or I lost an uncle during that time. I'm trying to think, there were other things that happened where we're like, this is the worst timing ever, Lord, like what? And he just reminded me, hey, you know what, I knew the timing of this before your kids were born, and so I prepared for this, and I had to just trust him with that, because Zeb and I were like, seriously? I didn't say what else could go wrong, because we know not to do that, but it was like, okay. So we knew we were supposed to be there almost because of all of these other things that kept happening, but it was an awesome experience to see, hard experience. You know, we love hard and we play hard while we're there, so.
I'm gonna make an adjustment. I'm gonna let the women finish or let the video run? We'll let the women finish, and then for the men talk, I will run the video.
This was my second trip, and after the first one, and I was saying just earlier that while it's the very same trip, we do most of the same things, this was a completely different experience this time. And I think a lot of the work with the women, I think it was part of the difference was that most of them spoke English, and there was a smaller group of women, so it felt a little more intimate, and that we were able to get to know them better. And just the work, the time that we spent with them was just so beautiful, and to be able to kind of get to know, to hear some of their stories, and to you know, work side by side with them, and just to kind of see them blossom as we were there. And so it was, and I, you know, there's always a little bit of apprehension in going all the way to the other side of the world, and, you know, and as Holly said, kind of not knowing what to expect as far as the experience with the girls, but it was absolutely well worth it, and just to see the Lord work in a beautiful way. The other thing is the staff members that are there. that is just really something to behold. And their dedication to the girls and to the ministry, and many of them, it's the same ones as were there previously. And that is, they just really enrich the trip and the work that we're doing, and how they support us while they're there. So.
Yes, so this was my third trip, and I really originally was not on the team. Beth Moultrie had to step down. She has kind of emergency situation with a young girl that she's working with, so she was not able to go to Greece. So just because I've been before, had pretty much everything lined up so I could step up if I needed to, I was able to do that. So I was very thankful. A little nerve-wracking because, like, you know, you're not going, and then I think it was about one week, Johnny calls me and said, well, first Beth called, and I was like, and I was like, Lord, I'm just gonna, because they may not need me on the team, I'm just gonna trust you with that. And then she called me back and said, hey, I talked to Johnny. And about 5 minutes later, Johnny called me. So anyway, I trust the Lord with that. Like I said, it was a little unnerving just because it's a lot I had my Covenant Kids team who really had to kind of step up, and the Nyquist group who happened to be on call that week. I think we needed like 5 there because Holly works for Covenant Kids, so there were lots of us out. I think Ashley Wilbanks had surgery that week, so for Covenant Kids, that Nyquist group, if you're in the Nyquist group and you took a hit that week, because I think their whole group just came and served the Covenant Kids team, so thankful for that. I always feel just called and love to go to Greece. I love the women that we meet. And because this is my third trip, I have seen, this is the second time I've seen a woman that I saw one of the other times. But it's neat, like I was listening to what Holly was saying about in the beginning in 2018, what they were praying for Damaris and for the ladies there, and to kind of see that coming into fruition. And I think that is so true, that the staff there, man, their hearts and souls are serving the Lord and pouring into the lives of these ladies. And you can see in everything that they do, how much they love it, but how much they know they're called to it. So that is neat, getting to know them. But the ladies this year, like Holly said, Holly said, it was a smaller team. It's the smallest team we've ever worked with. I think we had 5 ladies there, 4 ladies. 3 regulars and a couple in and out. But that's the smallest team I've ever worked with. That did make it more intimate. You got a lot more one-on-one time with the ladies than you did before, because normally there's at least 10 women there. And you have multiple languages, and so you've got multiple interpreters, and so that the room, it's a large room, but with all those people in there, it's very hot. I don't care if you're there in June or May, as the ladies have been, if you're there in February, it's hot in that room, and there's no air because they're all freezing and we're all roasting, and they don't have air conditioner in there, they don't open the windows, but anyway, the sweetness that you have with these ladies one-on-one. We did things differently. Like I said, you see them tweak things. This year we were able to cook a meal for them. We cooked an American meal. We did burgers. So Holly and I grilled. They had an old grill. We got charcoal. And we were kind of afraid. I think we were going to burn the house down because it was one of the ladies' houses. One of the houses that all the ladies are in. We grilled down there, and then Holly and Dawn and Zoe made strawberry shortcake and potato salad. That's it. Potato salad upstairs. They really seemed to enjoy that. That was fun to do. The ladies there eat mostly chicken and what else do they? Pork, not chicken and fish. They do not get a lot of red meat. So it was a treat for them to get red meat. It was a treat for us to be able to cook for them and serve them that way. I had never done that before, so that was really neat to do that. Also, another thing is usually we go with crafts and things that we're doing with them. We're kind of teaching them and showing them. Well, this year we did that, but they also had a craft that they taught us how to do, and I don't sew, so the lady that works with me, her name is Judy, which is the most normal name I think we've ever had. Judy showed me how to sew. She showed me how to make these little things that we're making. So that was neat to see her kind of take pride and ownership in helping me do something that I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So just very thankful for Christ Covenant, you know, sending us on these short-term mission trips. Man, it's incredible to be a part of the team, to work together with these guys, to go and see how the Lord, because you never know, from year to year. I've had years that I came home and struggled, that it was so hard emotionally. I've had years where it wasn't as hard. So anyway, but I'm always feel honored and privileged to go, so I'm very thankful for our church family for allowing that.
And no. She seconds her motion. Annabelle, run that video for us. By the way, has any of the team seen this video besides me? Okay.
I am the program coordinator of Community House Damaris. We are so thankful for the team that you sent to serve us and be with us this week. I would like to speak to you about a need that we have. One of our participants, she has been with our program for 2 years now, and she has finished, and she's ready to go outside and work. The problem is that because of her difficulty to work as a professional, she's not having a job, and she's really struggling to have a job. So what we want to do is to have her as in a program of job training, and this will take a couple months. So she will be better in her job, and she's gonna be able to have a professional job. So if you can just support something like that, we will be so blessed.
Hello, my name is Luciana. I have been a missionary in Greece for the past 10 years, just this month. My husband and I have a heart for this country, and the Lord specifically called me to be serving the Roma people. The Roma people are the largest ethnic minority in Greece and in Europe. It's estimated to have between 10 and 12 million of Roma people displaced around Europe. It's one of the most marginalized communities in the world, but especially in Greece. You will hear many people talking about the heart for the refugees and what's been going on in Greece for the past 8 years. But really the Roma people, they have been the most marginalized and the most neglected. They live in really harsh conditions.
I'm Maria, I am from Romania, I'm 37 years old, and I'm a caregiver in Damaris.
Tell me a little bit about the ministry that you do here.
Damaris offers a long-term recovery program for women who are survivors of trafficking and gender-based violence. So we offer shelter for the women that want to take part of our program and different kinds of support along their journey of recovery.
How many girls are at the house?
Right now we have 4, and then we have a few others in like 4 in the main house, and then we have a few others in transitional living.
Good stuff.
You good, Johnny?
Oh. Fabulous. Fabulous. Love it. Love it. So, thank you, Annabelle, for putting that together. That's just a snippet of the time there. And just to let y'all know, those pictures outside of working at Petaluma or Damaris was taken in about a total of 6 or 7 hours, because that's what free time we had between running. That beige colored building with all of us standing in front of it, in 2022, we prayed for that land. That's going to be a safe house for the women of Damaris. And now this year they will have it closed in the dry. So it's a long time coming, but they are doing well. I don't know if y'all can understand, Anthony, what they were asking for is support for a work program for a certain lady. Is that correct? Yeah. And so then the other lady, she is the house parent for one of the safe houses downtown. And then us guys, we worked on that shop area, as you could see. So that's just a little explanation. I'm going to pass it over to Jason and Luke, and then Zeb. What?
Anthony was talking about with some of these ladies are so traumatized. They're so far behind emotionally, their education level, their work skills, that they can't just go into a work program. Just expected to carry out just know what to do in a work situation. Very immature in a lot of ways, just very traumatized. And there's one particular lady that they've tried getting jobs for, and she's just not able to do it for this business to pay her. So what they're wanting is to get donations to basically pay her wages to allow her to work that job, so that the business is not paying her. Does that make sense? But so that she can hopefully grow in that job and then be able to, that they call professional, basically it's just a job outside. But anyway, that's what they're asking for donations for, is to pay her to work at this other business until she can become skilled enough, to work.
Great, I get to, excuse me, start it off. Hi, everybody. My name's Lucas. I'm sure y'all know me. I've been to Greece before, lived there. Appreciate the support for everybody and y'all sending me there. I think probably what I'll talk about, before we started on the trip, we met a couple times. And I think Johnny was talking about how when the guys went, just the 4 guys in October, it was Wyatt Pettis that was like, what do I have to offer these people? In which he's, infinitely more skilled than I am at a lot of stuff. But, I think you have more to offer than you really realize. Like, y'all know me. I'm a college student. I don't, really have any great skills or anything like that to offer. Especially in this, when you have, Bob the Builder down there. Zeb, do you do construction? You a little bit? Oh, okay, that's fine, yeah. Yeah, he dabbles in construction. So I'm kind of like the errand boy. That's kind of me. But yeah, well, and translator. I speak some Greek, but yeah, that's not a big deal. But yeah, you really do, have more to offer, especially not even to the people they're working with, but to the missionaries themselves. I was with Mark and lived there for 3 months, and it's when you go there, it's kind of like, they're really excited to see you and stuff, but it's very difficult, especially on Mark too, because, when you're in the community, like, you see the dads will, hit the girls or they'll smack them around and stuff, and they didn't really do that much in front of me and him, because they know, we don't, we're not just going to let that happen. But you can't really do anything either. Like, if they do it, you can't really do anything about it, because that would kind of retract the progress that they've made, because in their eyes, in their community, that's, a normal thing. And so Mark kind of really struggles with that. He's like, man, I want to do something about it, but if he does something, that'll kind of spread throughout the community, and then people will start not letting their kids go there. And so you kind of just have to, sit there and not really be able to do anything. And so I say all that to say, Mark and Eric and Erastos and all the missionaries there, it really does affect them big time when they see people and, they see us, because it's not an easy trip over there. So they see us make time to come over there and support them. They, they really appreciate that. And it's very important for them as well, because their job, I think, Johnny said this multiple times, they don't have to be doing this. They don't have to be serving. They could all go make a lot of money somewhere doing other things, but they choose to do this. So, it's important for them to be, have people there that support them and know, hey, we love you, we support you, because the job on a daily basis is not easy at all. So if you think that you don't have something to give, or you don't have a skill set to provide to support them, that's not true. Even you just being there and showing that, like even the kids there, they know, oh, big time people from America are coming, that's important to them too, because they like, oh, why are these, rich people from America come here? Why are they doing that? And then, that shows them the love of God, and how, that they're not just, a piece of trash living there. They're a human being. They have value. And so if you're on the fence about going whenever the next trip is because you don't think you have something to offer, sign up and go, and you'll see how that's not true.
I think for me, it was really neat because I've heard so much about Greece and all that they do over there, and I've seen the missionaries we support and trying to piece all the pieces of the puzzle together. Like, wow, okay, this son and this father and mother, and like, how does all this work that we're supporting? And so that was a rich blessing for me to see, yes, that originally it was a husband and a wife, loved Jesus. The husband was a pastor, gifted Bible teacher, raising three boys that went off to university to do their thing, but three boys that the Lord called into kingdom work vocationally. And from, mom and dad raising their children in the nurture and admonition of the Lord, Dad goes on to start teaching at the Greek Bible College, and that is where we spend our evenings. We spend the night there, we eat breakfast there, we see the work that the Bible College is doing, and our Garris is a Bible teacher there, and we support his ministry. It's pretty phenomenal what he does. He partners with Third Millennial Ministry, which is not, if you're familiar with that ministry, they take seminary level education and make it free in multiple languages throughout the world to equip the saints for the work of ministry. And he is one of their partners, and he teaches and preaches as well. Phenomenal teacher, real passionate about the gospel, real zealous about the gospel. He was serving the Roma community when he was a younger man, and so Mark, one of his sons, who now serves the Roma community, saw him doing that, but then went to school to be study physics, but then the Lord brought him back. And so Mark, one of his sons, is helping in that Roma community with those children that Lucas is speaking of. And in that area, his wife saw the need for the sex industry there to have somebody rescuing the women in Athens, and so therefore she has the Damaris house. Another son has planted a church in a different part of Athens, and so that was the church we worshiped with on Sunday, and we're able to share fellowship and share the word with that congregation. Another son works with the refugees that come in to Greece, and he's a part of another church plant as well. So just to see, okay, we have a church plant here, the children ministry to the Roma immigrants here, we have sex trafficking ministry here, we have Bible teaching here. To see it all and to see how it connects was really a blessing for me. It was a blessing for me to just have a great time with this team and get to know each of them better and their passions and their gifts. And it reminded me as well of, as we read today in John says, hey, the friends here with me greet you. He says, greet the friends as well. Just the beauty of the body of Christ globally. That, I didn't know any of those people in Greece, but I landed and they were immediately my friends because of the common bond that we share in Christ. And as friends, you love one another. As friends, you serve one another. And so to have the opportunity to love and serve them as they also loved and served us was a blessing to see the love that friends in the body have. So thank you for sending us. Had definitely a great fun time, but also a time to see the fruit of ministry and to labor. Some near-death experiences, driving with Johnny, some words that will come out of your mouth that were not cuss words, but were reformed cuss words. Maybe we'll say that. Were holy words in near-death experiences. Multiple near-death experiences, I shall say. So I learned Johnny's holy cuss words, and he learned mine as well. You can ask us what those words were later, but they weren't cuss words. They were reformed words of passion that flowed from our hearts in near-death experiences.
I want to start off by saying thank you for another opportunity to go and serve. It's a passion of mine, and I appreciate the opportunity, and so thank all of you for that. I want to thank Jay Weatherly for originally making these things happen. I want to thank Johnny and the work that he does to get me there. And there's not much more I can say to explain. I think everybody's pretty much said everything that needed to be said. I was not prepared to see my daughter, I didn't see the video, but it kind of got to me watching that. Is a proud moment for a daddy. Crap. It's a proud moment for me as a father to see for my child who's about to go to college to make these decisions and to see her relationship with the Lord and know that she's willing to be obedient despite the consequences of that. And so it was a blessing to have her along the trip. So thank you for letting her come as well. And I guess just a little bit about the project that the guys did. We worked on a shop where it was kind of cobbled together, so we created a space where he could be more efficient and be able to get more things done. Yvonne is a wonderful, wonderful man, loves those Roma kids, great part of the ministry. The first time we met him, I didn't know him, and I hid the tools from him because I thought he was off the street, because I thought he was bad news. So he's intimidating looking, which is good, but he has a heart of gold. But I love these people, and long story short, the money we send to support these ministries, it's working. Over the years we've been able to go, we've seen the ministries grow, and hearts change, and lives change, and it's just amazing to see. And it is money well spent. I can't imagine anybody being more efficient with every dollar they get. So, again, thank you all.
Does anybody have any questions they want to ask about anything? Rob? The answer varies, but I think that usually at least one a month.
There's 6 to 7 teams at Damaris a year.
6 to 7 teams at Damaris a year. So we kind of like in October, that was where the 4 guys went. That was kind of testosterone. It's a testosterone trip. It was cobbled together pretty quick, and I kind of hand selected the guys. What?
I said wild hair.
Oh yeah, wild hair, whatever. But I got permission from the missions committee to do that, and it was a very good trip. So we just visited with Eric. He was here a week ago yesterday and had lunch, and he's one that planted the church, and of course Lucas is he'll make fun. I mean, Nils Cosmos translates New World, and it's mainly Albanian refugee community. And so there's other opportunities for us to serve, and the missions committee was there at that meeting, and even if time and funds allow, to send a team of high school kids with some chaperones to do a Bible school for his church plant. So there's different opportunities that we're exploring to deepen that relationship, because the deeper we go, the more fruit there is. So, who else had a question? Ginger? Oh, okay. And really, it wasn't near death. Nowhere. No other questions? No, I mean, the definition of near death can be skewed. I mean, to different people, it's a lot of things. Well,
You're only as near death as the Lord wants you to be. So
there you go.
we're safe.
Yeah. So there's there's lots more stories, lots more pictures. I mean, you're navigating and trying to retain materials and assets to do work in foreign language and stores and, you know, here you get in America or in Cullman, you walk in a store and you got like 4 or 5 people on you. Hey, can I help you? What are you looking for? Can I help you? And you walk in the store over there and they're standing there and you say, cart, outside. No, cart, outside. I went outside, there's no carts. Outside. That's all you get. So finally you find one just laying around and you take it. So alarms go off at places too. So in the back, Matthew. I did just 95% of the driving, yes. Sometimes I get tired in the evenings and I'd let him drive us home, but I did 95% of it. And, you know, it's tight situations. You're driving down a road about as wide as this center aisle right here, and you got about 8 to 9 inches on each side of a van on a one-way road. And you got to make a 90-degree turn on another one-way road that's got the same situation. So,
Okay, so we all going to dinner one night, all right? And Johnny's trying to parallel park this van that had more bells and whistles than anything you've ever seen. It would speak to you if you got close to anything. It would tell you what you're doing wrong. And all of a sudden, we just slam into something. And Dawn says, Johnny, did you just hit that car? And Johnny nonchalantly says, Dawn, yes, I did. Thankfully, though, it was the van braking itself, and we didn't hit any cars. But we all got nice chiropractic adjustments at that moment. And so, yes, a lot of fun driving, specifically this particular van. And John just loved it, Johnny nonchalantly. Yeah, Don, I sure did hit that car. But thankfully, he didn't. He didn't hit it, and we were all safe. But driving in Greece, that is the experience that I wish all of you would have one day. And a lot, Cullman is nothing. Cullman is nothing. But, Johnny, we had to mention that, yes, I did hit that car story.
well, I'll back up to 3 years ago, and I was actually Anthony's sister, Elizabeth, was riding up front with me, was going down one of those narrow roads, and my mirror did hit the mirror of another car. And I said, oh my goodness, I stopped. She says, come on, don't worry about it. They're used to it. They should have folded their mirrors in. Okay. So, but don't worry about it. But it's stuff like that. But in the infamous words of Jay Weatherly, I hope that explains, hey, what are we doing here, guys? Any other questions? Well, that just happened to be a plate of, well, it was lamb shanks, and that was she said, I can't believe you're doing this. You've been doing this 42 years. Y'all couldn't hear it in the video, but that's what she said. That was where it was piled on there, and that was the juice and the gravy left over, and I was running the bread through it. That's what I do. So it's just, some people didn't like it, but I loved it. It was fabulous. Wasn't it, Wyatt? Because we ate at that same restaurant in October. But if that's it, Jason, you want to pray?
Well, yeah, thank you, Johnny. Yeah, and so thanks again, guys, for going. I want to thank the men's team as well for going. They did a great job. And you saw the need of what they had built. They built that kind of wall outside of the area. And when we get there, the folks in the community tried to beat that wall down, and that wall was still standing. So good Cullman men's work there, indestructible wall. So thank you for sending us. What a blessing it was, and hopefully we'll have eternal fruit from it. We'll pray. Father, thank you so much for the opportunity to go and to be sent, and also to support the work of your gospel. Lord, thank you for the privilege it is to partner with sending and these ministries that we support there in Greece, not only there, but Lord, all throughout the world. Father, thank you for the 27 plus or minus missionaries and ministries that Christ Covenant supports. Thank you for the giving of this church. Let us continue to be a giving church. Let us continue to add to that number those who we support. And Lord, let us see the gospel bearing fruit throughout all of the earth. Lord, taking captive souls and bringing them into obedience to you, setting them free from their captivity to sin. Lord, do a work in and through our church in supporting and sending. Do a work there in Greece. Bless the work of our hands there and the work of our partners there. We ask all of this in Christ's name. Amen. Just